We're now joined by Leluma Matooane, who's the Director for Earth Systems Science at the Department of Science and Innovation. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, and to you and your viewers.
All right. In the context of our changing climate and the issues that go with it, how important is a gathering like this at this time?
The gathering like the one that we have today is important because it provides a platform where stakeholders in global change get to sit down and discuss robustly the topical issues relating to different global environmental change. Not only that the platform is created to allow these stakeholders to engage and discuss these issues, but more importantly, to reflect and see and evaluate what we have done over years to try and solve some of these recurring problems of global environmental change. So it is at this kind of platforms where we get to see the students, that's emerging researchers, getting to interact with established researchers, policymakers, and business leaders, and coming together to discuss ways at which we can address some of these challenges. So it is important in many ways.
So the theme for this conference, Research and Innovation, Accelerating Transformations to Global Sustainability. So what kind of innovations are we starting to see? I would imagine technology is something that's coming to the fore, but our continent is one where we have challenges just with power, the use of fossil fuels and things like that. So where along the spectrum do our innovations come to deal with sustainability?
We are actually looking at a range of innovation, starting from technology innovation, as you said. It is important that we address that and we identify a suite of these technology innovations, but not only focus on that or end there. We still have to come up with what I would call grassroots innovations that will enable our societies in the rural areas to be able to adapt to effects and impacts of climate change, for example. So, and also innovations. We have social innovations. We should also be able to be talking about innovation in the policy space to enable decision makers to use innovative ways to come up with policies, strategies, and programs that will address this challenge of global change, or specifically climate change. So we are looking at a suite of innovation, not only technical innovation, but also the softer innovations, including grassroots innovations.
Grassroots innovations, I guess it's how we live in many ways.
That's exactly the idea here, to say we should be able to equip the citizen or even communities in the rural areas to be able to give them tools to be able to adapt and to develop resilience to these impacts of global change. So it is actually important that we don't leave the poor communities, and when we address this, we try and address the impacts of climate change.
We have unique problems on our continent that are different to other parts of the world, and I would imagine that requires different solutions. How well are we doing with the research part of this to come with solutions unique to us?
We, as a country, we are part of the global community. we learn from what other countries are doing facing similar challenges. But as a country as well, we need to be able to reflect, sit down and reflect, and really identify and scrutinize our own problems and be able to come up with what I would call customized solutions to problems facing the region. We agree that the problem seems to be the same throughout the world, but the intensity of these challenges are different. So our country, situated in the sub-Saharan region, is one of the regions in the region where the impacts of climate change, for example, will be most felt. So we are duty bound as a country to use all that we can to be able to build the resilience of our economy and societies to be able to adapt. So those solutions that we might import from other parts of the world, they've got to be transformed or they've got to be customized to be able to deal with the local challenges. So that's basically what we are doing in the moment. So we are using research, development, and innovation as a means to build that kind of resilience that we are looking at.
All right. So I want to end perhaps where I should have started, because I'm quite intrigued by your job, Earth science, Earth system science. Talk to us a little bit about that, briefly if you can, because I know it's a huge subject, and how it all fits into what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. The portfolio that I'm overseeing at the Department of Science and Innovation is a portfolio that looks into different Earth system sciences. So we are looking at different Earth systems that the function, the fundamental function, or even the drivers of those systems, to be able to understand how this system functions. Once we know how this system functions, we are able to know the drivers of change in those systems. We are talking of natural systems here. So any kind of interventions or disruptions in the normal function of these systems, we are likely to see a change. So that's why the concept of global change comes from, because it's a human impact or influence on these natural systems that brings about the changes. And those changes are likely to be negative in most cases. So for us to understand these changes, we need to understand the normal function of the system. So that's basically the portfolio that I'm looking at. So it's a wide range of systems that we are looking at. There are systems that are responsible for generating the water, or water as we know as a resource. There are systems that drive the biodiversity that we have. And also in the atmospheric space, there are also systems that governs how the atmosphere behave, or in most cases how the atmosphere
So pretty much
behave.
everything is connected one way or another, and you have to figure out how they connect, how they affect each other, and where the solutions lie. We're going to have to leave it there. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but thank you so much indeed for giving us some insights into this fascinating subject area and this important work that you're doing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for giving us the platform to share at least what we are doing in the Department of Science and Innovation, and the contribution they're making in the region. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. All right, that's where we'll leave that conversation. Fascinating. The 5th National Global Change Conference is underway in the Free State, talking about particularly our direction towards sustainability and the innovations and research that's required to make the necessary adaptations.